Hello, dear grade 8 students, and welcome back to our lessons. Today we are going to have the third lesson of our WOW unit, which is about wonderful ocean world. And today we are going to learn a new things that are related to oceans world. And as we have discussed earlier in the previous lessons that we work together on different or dealing with different reading text that are with the text, and today also we are going to move forward to our lesson objectives, and we are going to learn a new thing maybe for most of you my students, which are the types of adjectives. And there are two main types of adjectives. The first type is called attributive, and the second type is called predictive adjectives, and we will learn how to use them properly. They are very easy, by the way, but we are going to learn the difference between attributive and the predictive adjectives. Then we are going to continue in our previous lessons and analyze long text. So we are going to read very long text and answer their questions together. So are you ready for our lesson today? Let's go ahead. First of all, let's have a look at our language focus that we have in our class book, page 6. And as you can see on the screen, that adjectives are what? Adjectives are اللي هي الصفات. And we use adjectives mostly in order to describe what? To describe nouns, to describe places, to describe like things, people. Okay? So most of the time, they come before the nouns in order to describe them. But here we are going to learn different types of them, the attributive and the predictive adjectives. And basically, an adjective is a word like small, old, cheap, ugly, big, short, long, tall. These adjectives describes what? Or an adjective can describe the qualities of people, places, things, etc. For example, the small fish or a big fish. We have like a wild shark or a wild tiger. We have an amazing film or movie. We have, or to describe, for example, eyes or something, any part of our bodies. For example, he or she has a beautiful, or she has beautiful eyes, or she has a brown hair. Okay, so here we are describing things by giving them, like even colors are considered like adjectives. Good. So most adjectives, as you can see in your book, can go in two positions. The first position is when an adjective comes before a noun. Before a noun, as we have just mentioned, like amazing movie, beautiful sky, big room, and so on and so forth. It is called attributive adjective, and we have to learn this word, attributive. Why we call it attributive adjective? Because it attributes some elements or something to that noun. Okay, يعني ينسب إليه هذا الشيء. Okay, so for example, look at this one, the beautiful beaches of Hawaii. Okay, the beautiful beaches of Hawaii. What can we see? This is the adjective, which is beautiful, and we have the noun, as we mentioned, that they describe nouns, beaches, شواطئ. Okay, شواطئ هاواي الجميلة. Okay, so the adjective comes before the noun, قبل الاسم. So we call this adjective what? Or adjectives that come before the noun, we call them attributive. Say it with me, attributive. Attributive adjectives. Good. So these are attributive adjectives because they come before the noun. The second position of our adjectives that we have here, when an adjective when an adjective comes after the verb. Good. So we have adjectives that come before the noun and we have adjectives that come after the verb بعد الفعل. Okay, these adverbs or adjectives are called predictive adjectives. Predictive adjective. Okay, so these predictive adjectives are adjectives that come after the verb. For example, the shark was quick. كان سريع. So this one, quick, still describes the noun. They don't pay attention to this. They come after the verb. يأتن بعد الفعل ولكن they don't describe the verb. لا يصفن الأفعال. They describe the nouns. Good. They come after the verb. يأتوا بعد الأفعال. ممكن يأتي بعد الفعل ولكن still يعني تصف ماذا؟ تصف الأسماء or the subject. The shark was quick. Shark. سمك القرش كان سريعا. Okay. So quick here describes what? The shark. So the subject, verb, adjective. Good, guys? So predictive adjective is used to describe the subject. This is the subject, which is the shark, of the sentence and not the action of the verb. So pay attention to this. They don't describe the action of the verb. They describe the nouns only. Good, guys? So we have attributive adjectives with adjectives that come before the nouns. Beautiful sky, a new mobile phone, an old mobile phone. Okay? A short boy, a tall girl. So all these adverbs come before the noun. So we call them attributive. Good? But the verbs or the adjectives that come after the verb, for example, the shark was quick. This is called what? This is called predictive adjective. Good? The boy was sad. I write it here. The boy was sad. Good. So this is the adjective, but is it attributive or predictive? Of course, it is predictive. Why? Because it comes after the verb. But it still describes what? It describes the boy. Good, because he was sad. But I think he is happy now. Now, the same boy, the boy is happy. So this one is predictive adjective, happy. Why? Because it comes after the verb. After the verb is. Good? So this is how we differentiate between attributive adjectives and predictive adjectives. But they both describe nouns. Good, guys? Are you ready for the next activity to differentiate between adjectives, predictive and attributive? Good. Here, let's move on to our class book, page 6. Okay? And here we have, and also keep your skills book opened on page 7, please, on activity number 2. Okay? Here we have a shark attack. This headline, we call it headline, if you remember, is written, or this report is written by Manar. This is a student like you, and she has developed this report. Good. Now, I would like you guys to go to activity number 2 to find 6 examples of attributive and predictive adjectives. Good. So we are going to read this text, which was written by Manar, and we will try to find out some attributive and predictive adjectives. And as you can see from the shark attack, from page 6 of your class book, write them here. And you will find like this table. You will find the first column attributive adjectives or attributive adjectives, and we have the predictive adjectives. Good. And we have an example here. We have said already that attributive adjectives, they come before the noun. For example, the fourth shark, so, اللي هو سمك القرش الرابع, attack. Okay, so the fourth here is the adjective. It comes before the noun. Good. But predictive because the adjective comes after the verb. Good. So now let's find out some attributive adjectives, and these were taken from here. So we have here fourth shark attack. This is number 1. And also it was late. So these are answered already for you as examples, and we have to read and find out different adjectives, attributive, and we will shade them in blue. Here we have like the frightened experience. Also we have here the beautiful beaches. Is that clear? I will change the color. Okay. The beautiful beaches, like this one. Is it attributive or predictive? Of course, it is attributive. Excellent. So here is, we have attributive adjective, beautiful beaches. Gail Spencer described her frightened experience or frightening experience. Here is again what? Frightening experience. This is again attributive, an attributive adjective. Here are experts from the interview. This brave server gave us last Friday following the horrendous shark attack. It was late on Thursday afternoon when I decided to catch the last big waves. Big waves. So we have big as attributive adjective, and we have the waves. Good. And also here, the water was clear. So here again, we will change the letter for predictive adjectives. So look at this one, please. The water was clear. So what can we see here? The water was clear. Clear is the adjective. It comes after the verb. So it is predictive. Excellent. And I was quietly sitting on my board to catch the next big wave. This one is what? This one is, it is of course big wave. Again, like this one, like the previous one. When suddenly, it is attributive. When suddenly a large shark, again, it is attributive because the adjective comes before the noun, came out of the water. Its huge mouth, again, it's attributive adjective, huge mouth, opened wide. Good. Here we have opened wide. It comes after wide and bit of. Good. My left leg, again, this is attributive, just below the knee. The shark was big. Again, this one is predictive because the word or the adjective big comes after the verb. It was mean, again, and fast. These are all what? Predictive adjectives. Good. Just as suddenly it let go and swam away with my left leg in its mouth. Good, guys? So this is how we answer this question. I was frightened and scared. So all these are predictive because they come after the verb, predictive. Good. So how we answer this question? We will go immediately to attributive, and we have chosen like beautiful beaches of Hawaii. The beautiful beaches of of Hawaii. And also we have frightening experience, which is this one. Frightening experience. Good, guys? So this is how we answer this question. And how about predictive? Predictive adjectives. For example, the water was clear. The water was clear. Also here we have the shark was big. The shark was big. Good. So this is how we answer this question. Good, guys. Now, can you continue to the end of this activity? I'm sure you can. Also, I will add for you, I was frightened and scared. I will add it here. I was scared, for example. Good. And also I will add one attributive for you here. We can say like big waves or large shark. Good. So now I would like you guys just to go on and try to give me three more examples of attributive adjectives and predictive adjectives. Try to complete reading or continue reading this report and try to find out the rest of attributive adjectives and the predictive adjectives. Try to underline them in your book and then copy them in your skills book in activity 2 of your skills book, page 7, please. Good. So this is how we answer this question. Now, I'm sure now that you have learned the difference between attributive adjectives and predictive adjectives. Attributive, before the noun. Predictive adjectives, after the verb. Good, but they both convey the same meaning. They describe nouns. Good, guys? So this is how we answer this question. Then we will move forward to activity 3 of our class book, page 7, which talks about some sharp shark facts, which is this one. Some sharp sharks facts. Sharp means had. For example, teeth or sharp teeth. Good. And also we are going to open your skills book on page 7, activity number 3. Complete the chart. Complete the chart. Read the information in some sharp shark facts. So here we have different information about different types of sharks. أنواع أسماك القرش. On page 7 of your class book, and find the information below that we have here. So in this table that you have in your skills book, page 7, you will have some information about whale shark, and also you are going to have a great white shark. So these two types of sharks, and we are going to find out the size of each of these two sharks, also the food that they eat, also the location, where does each one of them live, and also the weight, وزن. Okay, for example, the weight of whale shark and the weight of great white shark. And the last one, we are going to talk about their teeth. Okay, so about the whale shark teeth and also the great white shark teeth. Good. Now, when we read the text, we need to find out about the whale shark and the great white shark. So the first one is the whale shark. And if we skim the text very quickly, we will find out that paragraph number 1 is talking about whale shark. Good. And I will shade it for you. For example, the white shark. As you can see. Let's continue reading on this paragraph. Is the biggest shark and can reach 14 meters in length. طول. Okay? So it can reach 14 meters. It's very long shark. And weighs يزن, weighs up to 15,000 kilogram. 15,000 kilogram. They have teeny teeth and sieve small animals. Sieve means what? Eat. They sieve small animals and the plants through their large gills. Whale sharks never attack humans. So it's not a wild shark. Okay? It is a friend to humans, so it doesn't attack humans. So they live in the warm waters around the equator. في المياه الدافئة. Okay? And they can live up to 150 years. So when we go back to the table and start writing about the whale shark, as we can see, the first one is like the size. The size of it is 14 meters in length. So this is going to be here. $14 meters. Good. Which is this one. I hope it's clear. Like this one, because it's full. The text is a little bit long. So it is 14 meters. And then let's think about weighs. It says weighs what? Weighs up to 15,000 kilogram. So when we talk about weight, we should write it here. So it will be 15 kilogram. 15,000 kilogram. Good, guys? Then they have teeny teeth. Teeny teeth. So for the teeth, the last one, we can write teeny or tiny. Tiny or teeny. Some people call it teeny and some people call it tiny teeth. And also, we are left with food and location. So they sieve small animals and plants. So they eat small animals and plants. So this is their food, which is small animals and plants. And for the last one, which is about location, they live in warm waters around the equator. Okay? We can write it here. Warm water around the equator. Good. So This is how we answer the first column about white shark. Then let's move on to talk about great white shark, which is the second type of sharks. Let's look at paragraph B. The zebra shark grows up to 3.5 long. Do we talk about the great white shark? Of course not. So this paragraph is not important for us. But here we are going to talk about, unlike the whale shark, the great white shark, which is this one. Good? So we are going to focus on this paragraph. Good, guys? And we will try to find out different information about this paragraph. Good. So here can grow up to 4.9 meter in length. So this is the size, 4.9. And also it weighs يزن around 3,200 kilogram. So here 3,200 kilogram, and also they have around 3,000 sharp teeth. So here we have sharp teeth, not tiny ones. Sharp teeth up to 7.5 centimeter long. So it is very big, and they are very sharp. So they are 7.5 centimeter long. Wow, it's very frightening shark. Okay. They use their rib to rib their food, like seals, otters, and turtles. So can you see that this shark eat different ocean animals or different species, like what? Seals, otters, and turtles. So this is its food, which are seals, otters, and turtles. Good. And where does it live? The location. They live close to the coastlines of the temperature seas, or temperate seas. So they live in temperate seas. Coastlines of temperate seas. Good. So this is about answering this question. So you need to read carefully, and in order to fill in this table that we have here. Good, guys. Now I'm sure that you can read more about other animals or sharks, and you can develop your own tables like this one. You can develop your own in your exercise book, and for example you can talk about the zebra shark, and you can talk about the size, the location, food, the weight, and so on and so forth. And also you can give like a presentation. You can speak, like put the information in a table like this one, and then you can develop like a presentation to talk about these two sharks or any other sharks that you have here. Good. So here are some ideas that can be used in order to give different presentation in your classes. Good, guys. Now let's move on to this long, or maybe the longest text that we have in our unit, in unit 1, which talks about wonderful ocean world. Okay, and this text or story talks about who? It talks about our prophet Yunus alayhi salam, peace be upon him, and the whale, والحوت, قصة نبينا يونس مع الحوت. So you are going to read this story and then continue or complete the missing places or gaps or words that we have here. Okay, where can we find these words? You will find them in the bottom of page 8 of your class book. You will find the phrases here, or in other words, they are all adjectives. And if you remember that, this is very interesting, by the way, because all these adjectives, if you remember about the types of adjectives that we have studied in the previous lesson, we have attributive adjectives and we have what? Predictive adjectives. Excellent. So look at these adjectives. We have rough, sea, adjective plus noun. It is attributive. Was sad. The boy was sad. So here we are talking about what? Sad. It comes after the verb. So it is predictive. Wise word. This is the adjective before the noun. Attributive. Was huge. Predictive. Hot sun. Attributive. Were frightened. What do you think? Yes, were frightened. Predictive. Was calm. Predictive. Stone status or statues. Stone statues اللي هي التماثيل الصخرية. Okay, these are what? Attributive, or this is an attributive adjective. And we have a great storm, also attributive adjective. And the last one, was tired. He was tired. It is predictive adjective. Good. After you read the adjectives, now start reading the story of our prophet Yunus. And when you read stories, dear students, try to feel the text. عيش القصة أو try to feel it, okay? For example, I will read the first paragraph and then you will read it yourself with your classmates or with your family. Look at this one. Allah sent the prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, which is, these are the words between brackets. Peace be upon him, alayhi salatu wassalam. Allah sent the prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, to teach the people of Nineveh about Islam and the worship of Allah. However, the people of Nineveh didn't want to listen to the, what's the word? Of the prophet. They didn't want to listen to what? To the wise words. Good. So here you are going to write the wise words of the prophet. He warned them of Allah's punishment. Punishment, this is very good word to learn. Punishment means عقوبة. العقوبة, okay? So when we say Allah's punishment اللي هي عقوبة Allah, okay? He warned بمعنى حذرهم. He warned them of Allah's punishment, حذرهم من العقوبة, but they were not afraid. لم يخافوا, unfortunately. So the prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, felt angry with the people of Nineveh and left the town without Allah's permission. And this is another good word to learn, which is permission. Permission means al-udhun. Okay, so when you do something without, for example, without your parents' permission, it means that you don't follow their orders, or you don't listen to them. يخالف, okay, because you don't follow their permission. Permission بمعنى أذن, okay, لم يسمح لك بهذا الشيء. Okay, so these people, they left the town, غادروا من القرية without Allah's permission. Good, so بدون إذنه. So you can think of the huge punishment to these people, Nineveh people. And Nineveh is a city or a town in Iraq. Okay, it is in Iraq. If you know the story, in Iraq, okay, or Iraq, and we call them in Arabic Nineveh. Nineveh, okay. This is the name of the town. Good, guys? So this is how we answer this question. Try to read, feel the text, feel the story, and then try to put the correct words or adjectives in the correct places. And try to shade on the new words that you think are very important, or they are repeated, or you can't see them, you are exposed to them from time to time. Because once you remember or learn new words, it means that you are going to develop your language skills, and you are going to develop your reading, writing, and speaking skills too. Good, guys? So for example, we have here punishment. It comes from the verb to punish. This is the verb, يعاقب. And we have here permission, الأذن, and when somebody permits, this is the verb, يأذن. Good. So try to learn new words from these stories, from these reading texts, because they are beautiful, and you are going to learn new morals and lessons from these stories. Then let's look at the second paragraph. Once the prophet had left Nineveh, Allah sent what? He sent a great storm. This one, because they left the town without his permission, so he sent them a storm, or a great storm. A great storm. Good. Then, why he sent them a great storm? To show how powerful he was. A strong wind started to blow. Giant black clouds, and we have learned about clouds, if you remember. Giant, like a huge, okay? Giant black clouds started to darken. Darken means to, when you darken the room, it means that like you switch off the lights in order to make it dark. Okay, so this is the verb from the adjective dark, to darken something. Okay, so the clouds started to darken. The clear blue sky and the bright flashes of lightning lit the stormy sky. The sky changed colors as if it was on fire. So everything changed in the weather, and you know, the clouds and the sky becomes dark, and it was the people in Nineveh were in a very terrible situation at that time. Good. The people of Nineveh, what happened to them? This is for number 3, by the storm and ran to hide in nearby mountains. So what happened to them? They were frightened. This one, frightened. Good. So the people of Nineveh were frightened. Good. And also, the people of Nineveh were frightened by the storm and ran to hide in the nearby mountains. They were very sorry. They felt sorry. They prayed to Allah again. They prayed to Allah for His forgiveness and promised, remember this word, promised. When you give a promise to somebody بمعنى يعد أو يوعد الوعد. Okay? He promised to become believers, مؤمنين. Okay? They promised to become believers. So they smashed the what? They smashed, it means they destroyed. They destroyed what? They destroyed the stone statues. Okay? اللي هي الأصنام. Stone اللي هي التماثيل الصخرية. In other words, الأصنام. Okay? So the word here is missing is stone. Statue. Good. And soon the storm cleared away. Look at this. Now the people of Nineveh wished, تمنوا, they hadn't been so unkind, like they are regretting, نادمين. Okay, so they wish they hadn't been so unkind and wanted the Prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, to come back and be their leader. تمنوا مرة أخرى أن يرجع لهم وراح يكونوا مصدقين له. Okay? And you can read the rest of the story. It is very interesting. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Okay? So you are going, as homework, you are going to continue reading these paragraphs and filling in the places the adjectives, the attributive or predictive adjectives. So we have already finished with wise words, also great storm, stone statues, and also was or were frightened. So you need to think about the rest of the adjectives and put them in the correct places. Try to read the text again and try to feel the text. You will learn different morals of this text. So the focus questions that we have here, look at the first one. Who is the main character in the story? Character means what? الشخصية الرئيسية في هذه القصة. Who is he? It is our prophet Yunus, peace be upon him. Okay? How many storms are mentioned in the story? How many storms? الرياح. How many of them? They are 2. And which animal is mentioned in the story? ما هو الحيوان المذكور في القصة? The whale. الحوت. Of course. Okay. And the last one. Why did the Prophet Yunus feel sad? He felt sad. كان يشعر بحزن. Why? Because he had failed to make these people believers. Okay, so he thought that he felt sad because he wanted these people to be believers and to obey our God's rules and orders. Okay, so because he had failed, and this is what he was thinking of. And I'm sure that when you read the whole story, you will know each answer of this. After you read the story, you need to go on activity number 2 of your skills book, page 9, please, and try to read these statements. Then decide whether these statements are true or false. For example, the people of Nineveh didn't listen to the prophet. And this is true. So the answer here is true. Good. Now you need to go over these statements and try to decide whether these statements are true or false. I think we have reached to the end of our lesson today. This is going to be your homework. Please read it carefully and try to answer these questions. I hope you all the best, inshallah, in the coming lesson. Please Try to learn new words that are associated with the oceans, and I'm sure that you will develop different paragraphs and different pieces of writing in the coming lessons, inshallah. Stay tuned, stay safe, and see you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.